I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. 'Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh. 'Cause I've been driving this train, Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space.
Yes, good people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. These days, there aren't too many stuff to talk about with regards to our beloved Chelsea Football Club. But the truth remains that there are people out there, you could say, they do have a lot to say about us. But we're here to discuss, to debate some things. We don't need Enzo Fernandez anymore because of how good Romeo Lavia is. Some people think we need them both. Some people think, besides long balls, there's nothing else he brings to the table. So we will have that conversation today. But there are a few items. I don't know whether to call them news. Some of them are news. Yep. I've seen a few on Vincent's X feed. We'll look at those things and hopefully panelists will have some of them will have the time to join me on the panel, so you get diversified opinion and not just me waffling before you. But that's, by the way, thank you so much for finding the time to be with me this particular morning. It's still 4:16 a.m. Las Vegas time, whatever time it is for you. I accept my greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have a total of 42 people following the show, but only two of those currently on YouTube. But I appreciate you all. And if you're following the show on X, please do us a favor, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel. Do follow our X account to help us get to 5,000 followers as soon as possible. And the first person to say something is Jude Oladipupo Meso, the CEO of Chelsea FC Jingles, my bro, my New York bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join me this particular morning. IB is in the house. Thank you so much to all of you. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to start looking at some stuff on Vincent's wall. I think only two of them on Vincent's wall. Two other items were sent to me by Eddie Love for Blue, our own brother. I believe he's still in Nigeria. I don't know if uh, his father. He told us at the time passed away. I don't know if they've done the funeral. I don't remember the bearer, so to speak, but I'll find out from him. But just by the way, the first item we have on the screen here, from whoscored.com, most big chances created in the Premier League this season: 26 in total for Chelsea, 25 for Arsenal, 24 Liverpool, 23 Aston Villa, and 21 Fulham. That's an interesting. It shows that, yeah, we're making good progress. I know a lot of people maybe you will argue it's nothing. I think it's a lot for of the fact that we're leading. I know it's just 1 point. The disparity between how many big chances were created in total to that of Arsenal is just one. But that's a lot still. Even if we when the third number three there for me, it's still huge. The man is doing a very good job, and hopefully we'll have people join us on the panel today so we can have a good conversation with regards to how well he's done. I think a lot of people are learning that he is a very very good manager, tactically and otherwise, excellent man manager. And what surprised a lot of people, there were rumors at first that he only knows how to play one way, but he's proven that he's not bent on using a particular approach. I get it. The basics almost always will be to dominate games, don't allow is to keep the ball as much as possible, more than the opposition, to be more specific there. But I'm happy with the job he's doing. We have our own bald-headed manager who's doing well. The second item is on Vince's X feed. Sorry, I can't say that. Which reads Kieran Gibbs. So now we're getting into you know what? We just read one of this from Kieran Gibbs, and then I'll read, I think, the three items that were sent to me by AD Love for Blue. We read those, and then we'll come back to reading what a lot of people, former footballers, pundits alike, what they've been saying about Chelsea Football Club. For me, it's not a problem. It's just that I do hate to see those that are absolute horse dung, in my opinion. But the truth remains, if nobody talks about you, then you're nobody. Go ask Two-Face your DB and he will explain better. And Judy saying here, stats makes Enzo irrelevant. But when watching games, it's done not okay, not look like reality. Okay, it feels different without Enzo on the pitch. Same stats made Potter look like a good coach, but results do not justify. Yeah, I agree with you. Again, we'll get to that. Again, I wish you won. Maybe you're probably busy. Heston, he's a starter player. He's not going to get you tons of assists or tons of goals by the time the season ends. But what he brings to the table, it takes those that understand football to understand how important he is to the team. So, yep, I'm guessing you probably driving. I understand. But that's by the way. So, Kieran Gibbs, Kieran. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Says, I do not think Chelsea have improved a lot. Wow. And I think that players like Lavia, the way he was playing out from the back, I think it scared Liverpool a little bit, and that's what made them sit back. I thought him and Caicedo in the middle. Okay, let me just expand this so we can read the whole stuff. Some of them still don't believe. You can say they've refused maybe to accept that we're making progress. Maybe out of fear, I don't know. I don't think it makes sense to say that's out of fear. Some of them just feels like they understand football that much that yeah, they're quite sure that we haven't improved that much. I think we've improved quite a lot, in my opinion. So the second paragraph there reads, I thought him and Caicedo in the middle playing out under pressure. I think that took Liverpool by surprise a little bit. Okay. And it ended up forcing Liverpool to sit back because they had that much quality to open up the pressure from Liverpool. So I think there was a little bit of both of Chelsea's good play involved in Liverpool sitting back a little bit. I'm not sure. I think he has to choose one. It's either he sticks with we played well, or he sticks with maybe we played so well that Liverpool had to sit back because they were concerned we were going to do some damage. I'm not sure what to believe there. But that's by the way, we have a total of 60 people watching, only 13 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. If you're following the show on X, we do appreciate you. But I want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second, drop a like on the video for us, and also follow our X account to help us to reach 5,000 followers as soon as possible. And we're doing a competition on X. Actually, if you check our X feed, you see a contest where you're required to produce a Chelsea themed art or image, whatever you want to call it, and submit it. And if you get the most likes, you win $100. And that's the second time we're doing that on X. But that's by the way, Jude here is saying Your description of him sounds like that of Kovacic in Chelsea. I'm at work, not driving, but getting off in the next hour. Okay, I understand. I thought maybe you were driving. Yeah, let's continue. Let's see what else we have here next. I think we're okay. We're going to address the next three items which were sent to me. They were all sent to me by Adila for Blue My Bro. This says Estavo has just scored again and broken Neymar's record for the most goal and assist by an under 17 player in the how do you pronounce that? Brasileiro. I can't in the Brazilian league, I'm guessing this century. That's huge. A lot of people were questioning why we paid that much money for him. The kid is a special talent, and I think what he can achieve, the sky's the limit, and he's confident in his abilities. And I think he's a humble kid too. And it's something. There was a video I saw on X where somebody brought him down. He was actually literally rolling on the carpet. He stood up, and I thought he was just going to stay there and ask for a foul. He stood up and also got to the ball again, and even was moving as if nothing happened. I love this kid, and I can't wait for him to start putting on the Chelsea jersey, and I think that will be in 2025. And some I think some quarters of the media are suggesting that he'd be eligible to represent Chelsea in the Club World Cup. Some are saying Palmeiras don't want that. Palmeiras wants him to play for them in the Club World Cup before he joins Chelsea. But whatever happens, 2025 is the yay. He comes to us. But that's, by the way, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have Nehemiah Fawole here. Ekugbadu, my brother. I hope you're doing well. I think Fofana and Colwell should be the partnership. I am surprised that there are okay, there are no the owners are not fighting. Okay, when we lost, okay, whatever you want to say. Namaya, I know you're an OG here, but keep the topics aligned. Otherwise, I will assume you're having a conversation with someone in the chat. Then I'll skip your comment, please. Let's keep it aligned. Then we have confirmed Simon Hooper will take charge of Chelsea's Premier League clash against Newcastle United. VAR Jard Gillett. I actually let me say this. Um, look at the response there. Somebody already saying Blumboy saying another opposition ref. Davey saying good. Let me see. He doesn't have hair, so you're concerned. That's a saying in the Chelsea community. When the referee is bald, then we're in serious trouble. Yeah, and another incoming robbery against us. Let's see what else do we have here. Kieran Gibbs, Romeo Lavia. Okay, that's just all the comments there. Only way to stop Kopama. Okay, these are mixed. Not really the responses to that particular post there. But we'll move on. It's interesting. All right. This is Chelsea Dodgers quoting Matt Moreto and Relevo. How do you pronounce that? Relevo. I'm not sure. But it reads that Chelsea have inquired about 21-year-old Nigerian midfielder Christensis Uche. Christensis. Is this the first time Christentus? How do you pronounce? Okay, never mind the pronunciation. Is this the first time I'm hearing this name? Okay, the Christiantus that comes to mind was the one I think I watched one of the under 17 games. So Christiantus Uche is different. From Getafe, the London club, I follow him closely. I don't know him. I don't know whether he's good. I'm not maybe I have to do my research. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. We have a total of 65 people watching, but only 14 of those on YouTube. If you're following the show on X, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video, and also follow our X account to help us reach 5,000 followers as soon as possible. We appreciate you, and special thanks to Vince, who's supported Tesla Perspective a lot on X and has helped us he helped us get to 4,000 plus, and he's still supporting us the best way he can. Hopefully, we get to 5,000 followers as soon as possible. I think we will beat Newcastle because Newcastle are not doing well this season. Mudryk should. Let me see what else you're saying there. Mudryk should play against Newcastle United. I'm not sure who's going to play. Says Coach, I hope Sancho performs well against Manchester United. I think he will. I'm not too concerned. I think the way again his overall performance in our last game does come down to the manager's approach on the day, and the fact that Malo Gusto didn't overlap enough to support him on the flanks there. So, but that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So we'll go back to reading gossip or the nonsense from the pundits. And I'll wait. If we're lucky, some of the panelists will join us so that you can get diversified opinion and not just listen to me and I alone. Yep. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. All right. There you go. Is that 9-3? Why is the other one old? Is that the old one? Something isn't quite right there. But that's fine. Let me go back. Okay, let's search for the nonsense a lot of these pundits have said about us. Yep, Kieran Gibbs. We've read that one. Give me 1 second here. And pardon me, I'm gonna try and take a sip of my coffee before I lose my voice. What do we have here? All right, we've read okay, a lot of stuff. They just can't stop talking about us. Okay, this that I believe is Vince's opinion. If we want his opinion that seriously, I think he should come to the panel. Yep, here's a comparison there. That's Neymar, a younger Neymar there. Younger Neymar, games 105, goals and assists 81. Esteve is still 18. Goal and assist per game 0.79, 0.72. Highest goal and assist in a season 26. Estevo 18. So I don't think this is a correct comparison here. I'm not sure. Okay, what else do we have here? Give me 1 second. We will go a lot of gossip in here. This year, but Dante's joined me on the panel. Big up to you, Dante. I do hope you're doing well. Apologies, I'm not sure why. The first link I sent, I'm not sure why it didn't work. Maybe because I just don't like it. I don't want you on the panel. But that's by the way, Dante. The first I talked about this year from WhoScored.com. You said most big chances are created in the Premier League this season. We have 26 Arsenal, 25 Liverpool, 24 Aston Villa, 23 and Fulham, 21. Does that mean anything to you, or is it just nothing to you? Let's hear you, Dante. Well, big up. I do hope you're doing well, and your boy is good.
He's good. He's good. He's gone to bed now. Yeah, coach. Big up, coach. Big up to everyone as well. Yeah, it's alright. I understand you didn't want me on. That's why you blocked me, but that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you only did that to Bobby, but it looks like yeah. Yeah, we've created a lot of chances. I can't really see that there because it's too small for me. But yeah, I know we've created. I think 29 or something like that. We're first in the league anyway. So yeah, we've created plenty of big chances. Look, it's a good sign. We did have that last season. We finished, I think, second behind Man City in the end. But yeah, obviously our conversion rate was not that good. This season, it's one of the higher ones. So we are doing very well. It's telling something. It's telling that we are creating chances, and we've scored plenty of goals, and we've created a lot of really good chances. And our conversion is much higher than last season.
Just quickly, the number of big chances to the ratio of goals to scored, I think it's way better than what we were able to do last season.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely better. Yeah, that's the thing. The ratio is much better. It's almost half. I think it's 12 points something in 29. So it's almost half. It's pretty good. It's very high actually. So yeah, I've got another list. I'll send that to you to show you. That one's a bit more detailed. But yeah, yeah, it's very good. So far, so good.
And something else, I think we've talked about that already. Before we played against Brighton, they were one of the best defense. Again, they had the best defensive record in the league. We did put how many? We scored 4 against them, right? It was 4 goals, right?
Yep.
And then Liverpool, they haven't conceded a single goal for like in 1,000 years before we met them again. We scored 1. So the signs are really good. I don't know if you have anything to say about that.
Yeah, scored one. We really should have scored a couple more, but
But the fact we
yeah,
scored one, I'm just going, yeah, again, we can't change the result. Now, I'm just saying the fact that
correct.
we're able to score one against them and could have scored more on the day, I think that's a huge sign.
It is a good sign, but to me, the most important is yeah, we've created the most chance 20, but we're converting like nearly 40%. So it's a very high conversion rate. So yeah, that's telling. That's a big sign of improvement in our finishing and our overall play. I think that's a big sign of improvement because last year I think it was only like 16 or 17%. I can't remember exactly. So nearly double. So it's a big improvement.
Yeah, and let me just get this so we'll look at it. I'll pull it out, then we'll talk about you can say the current thing. Maybe that's the current thing, and maybe the in the Chelsea community, the comparison between Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia, and how that
Mm.
Enzo Fernandez that it is he's going to start. You can say he will be relegated to the bench, and Romeo Lavia will be starting games. All sorts of nonsense out there, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's look at what you just sent me. 1 second here. And then after that, we'll go hunting for a lot of rubbish coming from pundits and former footballers alike. Interesting to read. A lot of them talking absolute nonsense. Some of them being as subjective as possible. Okay, big chances. We created 30 in total. Then we scored 12. Is that in the Premier League? Just in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, I think it's Premier League only. Yes.
Yeah, because we scored a lot more. Okay. 12. Okay. XG 11.94. Wow. Conversion rate is 40. Liverpool's is 45. Yep. They've been on fire. The conversion percentage. Arsenal 31, Tottenham 32, Fulham 38, Aston Villa 43. Who's 50? Brighton. Wow. Manchester City 50. I was suspecting they were going to be in that number. Leicester City 60%. But yeah, that's an interesting that's an interesting stuff right there. But thank you for sharing it with me. I'll take my time to go through it, maybe produce a video with it. I'll find out. And Namai is asking Coach, where's Mark Gui? I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know. Maybe on holiday. I think he traveled for international assignment.
Probably
Uh,
seeing midweek.
yeah, with in the conference league, you think?
He'll come on maybe for Nkunku. Probably come on most likely
Okay.
later on in the game.
Yep. Tiba Salifa is saying it's crazy how panelists on Carefree Lewishi were piling on Enzo after the Liverpool game. It was crazy to blame Enzo when he came on as a sub. I think it's just I would say I don't know. There are people that I've had that conversation with, and I say we can come on, let's debate. I think sometimes I don't want to come across as if I'm insulting anybody, but in most cases, when you listen to them, you know the reason they are just they don't understand what Enzo brings to the table is simple. They just don't understand football that well. But Dante, let's hear you. What do you make of what we're seeing on Twitter? You could call it Xfair these days. It's no longer Twitter. For me, it just doesn't make sense that people don't understand what Enzo brings to the table, and some of them, they were circulating a stat again, a statistic. There was circulating some statistics. I think last week, something to the effect of how we've lost more games when he started for us. But not paying attention to the facts. Not really. I think to the fact that everything comes down to how the manager at the time utilized them, and the
Yeah.
fact that the whole team at the time we were struggling as a team. But right now under Enzo Maresca, he started all the games except that game against Liverpool. Correct me if I'm wrong. And how many of them have we lost?
Yeah.
So the people they're just not just being truthful to themselves. They just want to start. You could say, yeah, yeah. Since He's joined Chelsea. We've lost, you can say, 10 million% of the games he started for us. It just doesn't make sense. And when I see such things, I don't like to get into argument with the individual who's circulating that stuff because, yeah, they're not going to listen to you. But let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, look, he came on, and after he came on, we did have more possession. He did play a little bit more forward, so it was a little bit different. So, but we did have more possession, and we pinned Liverpool back a lot more than we did. So it was kind of it kind of helped us in a way. It helped us quite a bit more. So it's not really a negative him coming on. He didn't score, he didn't assist, he didn't have a big chance or anything like that. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they look at that the most. And if they look at just at
Yeah,
that,
that's what defines how good a player is for them. Because the goals and
yeah,
assists define
yeah,
how
there's a
good a
lot of
player
people out
is
there
to
that haven't
most
played the
people.
game, or
Yeah.
they just care about stats and stuff. So yeah, has he been perfect? No. Lavia, who everyone says he had a great game, yes. Then Caicedo took over that position. Then Caicedo had an amazing game, and then look, Enzo came on, and like I said, we pinned back Liverpool. We were a bit more aggressive because there wasn't two DMs. There was more. Sorry, it wasn't pretty much three DMs. There was only two, and then we were pushing forward. Enzo was pushing a bit more forward, so look, he still did all right. His passes were crisp. He moved the ball around, and that's what he does. He didn't get that much time, but like I said,
And
those last 30
and
minutes when he
again,
came on,
let's be specific here, Dante. He just doesn't move the ball around for the sake of moving the ball around. Every angle he passes the ball to, he does that with with again with clear papers, not just for the sake of it. That's why he's able
yeah,
to help us dictate the pace of the game. That's why we're able to control games better whenever he's on the pitch. He's
correct.
not as quick as Casado, as quick as Romeo Lavia, or as defensively solid as those two are. But he has better vision, better passing range, and see how they're trying to, you can say, what's the language I'm looking for? Um, oh my gosh, to still condemn him. They're saying, yeah, we don't, it's all about long balls. We want more than long balls from him. But sorry for cutting you off. I'll let you continue.
No, it's fine, coach. Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, I know. But like I keep saying, there's a lot of fans out there on X, especially that don't really know the game inside out. They just see the highlights, and they know just the stats more than that. They think they know, but they don't really know. No, so yeah, it's a lot of it's just it's for views and stuff like that, and for clicks. But hey, look, everyone's got their opinion. I'm He's a very important player in my opinion to Maresca, and he will play. He will be a starter. Um, has Maresca got decisions to make? Yes, yeah, but he will be rotating. It was a perfect time to give him. He played a lot. He came off that long international break, and he played a lot for Argentina. They traveled far with Argentina, and it was probably a good time to give him a little bit of a rest. So I don't mind it. That's what you need to do with these players, especially Enzo and even Caicedo. They need to be rotated because when they do go, they play the 90 minutes for their countries, and they do go to South America, high altitudes and everywhere like that. So and then they always come back late. They're always the ones that come back late, the South Americans. So
Honestly, I wanted to say, had it not been for the travel, I'd argue that he would have started that game.
yeah, look, like I said, there's so many things behind the scenes, like training and how they're feeling, and there's a lot of little things that go behind the scenes that we don't know about, and the coaches make a decision on that, and it's what they see and how they feel and how the players feel, and they talk to them, and there's medical team that comes into plays. There's all these analytics come into play. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play these days, and then they make a decision. So it's not saying him that he dropped in there that's it, it's finished, Enzo's finished, and we played 10 times better without him. No, that's false. We didn't play 10 times better. We played very good, but we didn't play 10 times better than. And even that comparison that you were talking about that I've seen around, they keep going back. Everyone keeps going back to last season's last 5 games we won without him, because he got after he left injured those last 6, I think, games or whatever
The
it
team,
was.
we already clicked before his absence. Actually,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
that's but they don't mention that. They just
Yeah,
want
and we did
they just
invert.
see you can say
That's
a
when we
good
started
reason
inverting as
to
well.
yeah, to play
That's when
down
we
his
started inverting to
importance. Yeah, go
Torella,
ahead.
and that's when we did well because there was another extra midfielder there. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't see, but look, I'm okay with it, and I see the game how I see it. So I know you see it very similar. So everyone's got their opinions, but yeah, look, footballing, you will see Maresca will use him, and he will play a lot. He's not going to play every game, and I think that's good. You can't play a player like that every game. Um, I think they need to be rotated a little bit more. We saw that last season, the season before, they just never got rotated or never got. They played every single game midweek. They just kept playing and playing, playing, and just too many problems, too many injuries. So it's so important these days to really rotate the players and have that bigger squad. I keep saying it. People hate it. I like a big squad because you can rotate and look after the players, and you've got more quality available and options. So I like a bigger squad. I know people don't.
Here's the most
Most people don't,
sensible
but
thing.
that's how I
Yeah,
see it.
here's the most sensible thing I've seen since that conversation started. Maybe that debate, to be more specific, on X. Somebody say something to the effect of, I said I first while I did say that I think, yeah, starting, you could say a pairing, Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia makes us more defensively solid. But the what people
Yes.
don't pay attention to is that our creative outlet reduces significantly
Yep.
without mentioning Enzo's name. And then I was getting responses under that particular post. Some saying, "Yeah, because of Casado, this." I said, "Listen, I did not compare him to Casado. I only just mentioned to you that, yeah, the pairing of Romeo Lavia and Moises Casado makes us more defensively solid, but reduces our creative outlet. I don't care how you see it." And then somebody says, here's the thing. My understanding of the particular response I want to talk about right now is that, yeah, he understand, and he says something that makes sense. In certain games, the manager may prefer to go with Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo just to ensure that we're defensively solid. But it's not going to be a
Yeah.
permanent thing. And that's why we have a deep squad, like you mentioned. In certain games, the manager may look at the bench and say, at the squad, and say, you know what, we're better off going with these players, this pairing than the other pairing, and it's a good thing. And I wanted to ask people, why are we even debating this? Why are we fighting over it? We should be happy that we have them all.
No
They're
idea.
all good players. Whoever starts, just shut it and
Exactly. Yeah.
support your team. Um, but let me hear your thoughts and the suggestion that in certain games the manager probably will go for Casado and Romeo Lavia to ensure that we're more defensively solid. Because the truth remains, if they operate as defensive midfielders, then we're lacking one more player that's capable of producing something in the
Correct. Yeah.
attacking area.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we saw that against Liverpool. We didn't create too much, to be honest, that first half because they were both very deep. So you didn't have that once they broke the press, which Lavia did amazingly well, Caicedo, but especially Lavia. Then that the next ball forward would it had to be to a winger, and it was usually to Sancho or Madueke, and then they were so far forward they just had to take the players on, but they had two players on them most of the time. Once Sancho turned in or Madueke, there was another player there. So yeah, look, it was a bit. It didn't really. It worked. It did okay. We nearly got the penalty out of it. It did okay, but there wasn't that more connection there because that extra player we've been used to playing in that mid, a bit more forwards that connects that play even more and gives Palmer a lot more space as well. People fail to realize that Palmer was quiet, but he was double man marked, triple sometimes, and he only had one or two outlets. He only had Sancho or Palmer to go. Sorry, Madueke to
And you
go
could
to.
argue the manager's tactics on the day didn't help either.
Well, no, he wanted this for, like you said, for defensive solidity, and it did work. And the plan was always the 55th minute. The subs were going to be made, and we're going to go for and push depending on what the result is at the time. So but and it was at time it was 1-1, and just 1 minute before the 54 before Liverpool scored, the subs were already coming on for that anyway. It doesn't matter. That was a plan all along. And Maresca did say that after the pre-game, after the game. So that was a pre-plan. That was always going to be done that way. And look, it nearly worked. He worked pretty well. The plan was, I think, was a very solid plan. Like you said, look, you can, and that's what you should do as a coach when you have the great squad like that and players against certain matchups. You can mix it up a little bit and go for what you think is stronger. It doesn't matter if Enzo sits and then comes on in the 55th minute. He's still playing a lot of the game, basically need a bit more under half. We've got those players, we can do that, and that's a massive bonus. And I think that's fine. I think Enzo will accept that. Caicedo will accept that. Lavia will accept that. All the players will accept that. If we're doing well and we're winning and it's working, they will accept that. So I don't see it as a problem. But yeah, I think we can definitely be doing that. Against Liverpool, it worked very well because the way their midfield has been playing this season and who we needed to nullify as well. So it worked. The plan worked very well. We just didn't get the result in the end of the day. We were a bit unlucky with some calls and a couple of misses, but yeah, I'm very happy that Maresca did it, and I'm happy that Maresca will do it further on. I know he has that in him. He's not scared to do it. He'll make the change,
I'm just happy. We'll,
and
we'll talk about the progress. You say what we've learned about the manager himself so
yeah,
far after week 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. Here's something I want us to talk about. I think you've talked about that already. We've talked about how starting both Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo at the same time makes us more defensively solid, but reduces our attacking outlet. But that's, by the way, something else I want to talk about is, okay, if we're talking about rotation, who's who's going to rotate with who, and who's going to be or you can say a constant, if there's anything like that, in terms of the manager's selection approach. Chimera, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. It's been a minute. I hope you're good. It's still Parma FC, this team. If this boy doesn't turn up, we've nobody else who can step up. I think that's a lie. That's a
yeah, I
blatant
don't
lie.
agree either. Yeah,
Um, Overall, we played well as a team, created good enough chances. Not maybe not good enough. You could say, yeah, created enough chances. Maybe let me remove the word good that preceded my former comments. We created good chances. That yeah. Um, we could have won had we been clinical on the day. So no, we're not Copama FC. We're not. I don't buy that a bit. Big up to you too, Mike Newman. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Coach Casado and Lavia will work perfectly if we let Reece James fully recover from injury and overlap. I don't know. Dante, let's hear you. What do you think? I think it sounds like, I mean, something that makes sense, but still playing two traditional, you could say playing two players, and if they apply themselves on the pitch like two traditional DMs, will still lack offensively. That's my opinion. But let's hear what Dante has to say, given your opinion that we have on the screen. Dante, let's hear you.
yeah. Look, I don't think that will happen soon. I think if Rich James will play, he'll play that right centre back still, and just sit back. I don't think he's going to make him run up and down and to play that role yet. It might be in the future. I just don't see it at the moment. And I didn't really see it in preseason either. He liked him. If he did, he inverted him, he tried him inverted. So I think they won't do that to Reese at the moment till he gets his fitness up and proper running. Even though it looked amazing, just talking about the running side of things, because the right center back, you're not doing nowhere near as much running as you are if you're going to overlap and play as a right back. So yeah, look, it's up to the coach. Obviously, I wouldn't. I don't see Maresca doing it either. Uh, I think he's going to use him in that right center back role quite a bit. Um, and after that, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see him inverting as well. I just don't see that overlap, and I don't think he works too well at the moment. Not with Madueke there. They'll just get in each other's way. I don't see it working too well, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't see it. The way that Maresca likes to play, I don't see that happening, to be honest. Just my personal opinion. And I haven't seen it at all throughout preseason or anything at all ever so far, him playing like that.
Yeah. Let's see what else do we have here. Tobias is saying this Chelsea team is special. I've always said that. Again, under our X, a lot of people were saying that our players were crap, and that yeah, we did set up the manager to fail, and a few people at the time who understand football were saying no, we have a very good squad. I get it. If the argument that, again, I do listen to people when they argue. I did listen to people when they argued at the time that yeah, the injuries were because we were averaging 8 players out at the same time at the time, that didn't help. I was saying yeah, that's the truth. But beyond that, we do have a very good squad, and I'm still saying that. Maresca got it wrong. Should have stopped Jackson and Palmer or from Kunku and Felix. How can he keep Nkunku out of that long? I don't know. Do you have any answer? Do you have? Do you want to answer that, Dante, or should we move on?
Well, look, Nkuku came in the 75th minute, if I remember. He had he got 20, yeah, because it was 6 or 7 minutes extra time as well. So he
You're
had
saying he
quite
had
a
enough time to make an impact and he didn't?
yeah, he did, and it was the right time. That's when Liverpool decided to drop deep and play park the bus almost and play really defensive, and that nullified Jackson wasn't going to be effective. So it was the right
Yeah, and
time
then
to make
Kunku, he's
substitution.
very good at navigating tight spaces or crowded box,
Yeah,
opposition box.
so he made that substitution when Liverpool dropped back deep. So it was actually at the right time, exactly, I think, in my opinion. So I, yeah,
Yeah, it looks like Dante's connection is not stable. I'm just going to be respectful. I'm not going to say what comes to mind. Let me know when you were back, Dante. We'll listen to you. Like, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, yep, he's off. Enzo Casado, Lavia, Renato with Carney and KDH. The midfield is perfect. Carney, I don't know, but I think his future lies elsewhere in my opinion. Unfortunately, and Bobby is not gonna like that. And Tovas is saying Nkunku definitely should have come on earlier. Hope he shows the manager on Thursday why. I think. Listen, I don't believe that those we see that started mainly in the Premier League games. I don't think um, the respective positions that they've been fulfilling for us in the Premier League are theirs for keeps. No, I think the manager probably he's working in the Premier League with those that you could say that have adapted better, uh, maybe to the plans he has for Premier League. That can change. Remember, we still during Premier League games, we still do have the likes of. We usually see the likes of what's his name, Nkunku, Renato Viega, Pedro Neto, and João Felix on the bench. So no, no position is anybody's for keeps, in my opinion. And it's up to you to prove to the manager that you should be starting in the Premier League. It's as simple as that, really. And here's the irony of the whole thing. Now, if it wasn't the Conference League, if it was the Champions League, I'm quite sure a lot of them would prefer playing in the Champions League than in the Premier League. And it's not going
yeah.
to be a question of wanting to play every game. Casado and Lavia both attacked well. João Felix was the missing link, but Maresca tried to fix what wasn't broken, and we paid for it. I don't I don't have any complaints in terms of, again, with regards to his selection and the changes he made. My overall view of the game, it just wasn't our day, and that will not change. I was pained, not because still pained, not because we lost the game, not because we played badly. Not I wanted to say not because we played badly, but because we lost, and I believed we deserved at least a point from that game because for me, we were the better side. In my opinion. Let's see. But Markham Neum, if you want to come onto the panel, hit me up on Twitter and I'll send you the link. Nkunku shouldn't be playing. Shouldn't be playing on the wings. Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. Either as a second striker, or maybe in the 10th position. You cannot judge a player who doesn't get minutes. Yeah, I agree with you. You can't just say a player if it's bad if they're not playing. I'm not sure what match people were watching, but this was a good game. I think you and I agree today. People forget this Liverpool squad has been dominating for the past of 5 years. We are still developing, and we went toe to toe with them. That's in my opinion. Maresca made it clear that he has favorites. Pep would have taken De Bruyne out if he saw that bad of a performance. Palmer and Jackson are not untouchable. Maresca and ruthless and is showing cracks. That's just your opinion. I think you can't wait to start screaming Maresca out. But Dante, let's hear you. What do you make of this comment from him?
It's just funny, yeah, that he's saying he's not ruthless. He's probably one of the ruthless managers we've had. So he's pretty ruthless. We saw that in preseason and what he's done with the
And we
players.
saw that with regards to those he's told that they are not part of his plans.
And I mean, what more did he want him to do? What he wanted to take Jackson off 5 minutes earlier than he did, or what's that gonna change? It's not that much, to be honest. So it's very tiny margins Chimera's picking at there. I'm not sure why, but hey, it's his opinion.
Yeah, maybe he wants a letter from Maresca before he believes that he can be ruthless. Cole Palmer missed a few sitters. Should we call him? Should we call him out or not? Should we call him not good enough? No. That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. Saying calling a player bad player, judging by a single game, is a Chelsea thing. Yeah, and I don't think it's okay. Just like a lot of people are saying Tosin isn't good enough because maybe he made one mistake, but throughout the game, he was solid. Actually, he finished the game with a rating. He even though he was subbed, he still had a rating of around 6.2 or 6.3. And but a lot of people will tell you he's a bad player because of that one mistake. And he hadn't played consistently before that game. But that's my opinion anyway. In my opinion, Felix has scored. Okay, I think Maresca didn't use Felix because he missed opportunity against Forest. No, I don't think so. He doesn't think like you. That's here's the question I wanted to ask you before. Um, the three of them in Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia, who rotates with who? That's the question I want to ask. And in my opinion, I think Enzo Fernandez will be constant, and then Romeo Lavia will rotate with Moises Caicedo. That's my opinion. They're
Yeah.
all good players. I'm gonna go to. We'll go to the extent of saying they're all excellent players, but they're different. And I want to hear from you. How do they differ, and who do you think rotates with who?
Yeah, look, I think they're all three are interchangeable, so it doesn't really matter. I think it'll depend on form. It'll depend on how they
I really
train.
don't
Like I
think
said,
any of them. I think Enzo Fernandez is just unique.
yeah, yeah. Like we were saying earlier, if the other two play and Enzo doesn't play, we're going to be much more defensive, and we're just not going to, really control games that much as we do with Enzo passing the ball around as much. So it just depends on the games and the matchup. But I think you can interchange all three of them, to be honest. And if you really look at all three of them can play together if you really need to be. They can actually play together, no problem. We've seen that in preseason. I think they played. Did they play? I'm pretty sure we saw when they played together one game. I can't remember which one it was. They were on at the same time on the field. They can play in that 4-3-3. They can play together if really need to play them. That you can play them, but there's no point because our depth is not that strong, quite that strong at that position. So it's actually better this way to rotate them and just move them around. But like you said, they're all a little. Lavia is, he's more physical, is much stronger. Is probably the quickest out of them as well. Very good defensively, very good at press resistant against the ball. He's got a
I
good all
think
round game.
of
But
the
yeah,
three.
going
I
forward,
think
probably not
yeah.
his
Go ahead.
strength
Go
that
ahead.
much.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, he's going forward is not really his strength that much, to be honest. But Caicedo is obviously loves to run all around, be all over the pitch, and do quite a bit of everything.
It's more
He
of
hasn't
a
got.
hybrid of 8 and 6.
Yeah, he's a box to box guy. So that's his. Yeah, like we said, Enzo is, he facilitates. If the ball, everything goes through him, gets the tempo going faster, slower, pushes the tempo up or down depending what the coach wants. Spreads the ball, like you said, left, right, long, short, doesn't matter. It's how the coach wants to move the ball, and everything would go through him. Mostly it does. When we've seen him play a bit deeper, everything goes through Enzo. Like he has like the most touches in the game by far. When he plays a little bit more forward, which I'm not a fan of personally, it's not as involved as much. Uh, so I think we've seen a bit of that, a bit of both from Maresca using him both different ways. We'll see how that goes further on in the season. It is still early; it's only 8 games. People forget it's really early in the season, so it's a long season. There's a lot of stuff coming up. So we'll see how they go. Like you said, all three of them have the traits that they're really good at, but they all have something special that the other one doesn't really have. So it's
Mm-hmm.
up to the coach to use them when he uses them against matchups. And like I said, you can play 'em, but you can play two of them together. It doesn't matter which one. They're both either way. He did get the 5th minute, even earlier sometimes if need be or later. But he made it a really good time, I think. And you've got the other option. So it's a very very good headache to have for a coach.
It is. And I'm going to say this, I've said it already. Why are we even debating who should drop to the bench and who starts on, or why the other person should actually? Some actually have gone to the extent of saying that Enzo should be sold or should leave Chelsea. We're blessed to have them. The three of them are excellent, very, very good players. It just doesn't make sense
Yeah, we're very blessed, and let's not forget if one of them gets an injury,
yeah.
and it's a long season. It's a very long season. So if one of them gets an injury, like a more serious, or even 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, we're pretty short there. So the other one will play a lot of games if that's the case. So
And really, let's be honest.
yeah,
I think,
it's a
yeah, go
long,
ahead. Go ahead.
long season. Everyone. Yeah, it's a long season. Like I said, if one of them gets an injury or other stuff, whatever, it's a long season. It's very, very early. I keep seeing people screaming, "Oh my God, they're not getting minutes. Finger's gonna leave. Finger's gonna leave." No, they're not. That's not. Everyone's getting plenty of minutes, and there's gonna be a lot more minutes later on when people start getting injured, and they will. People will get injured. It's a long season. It always happens, especially in modern football. There's way more injuries, and they're gonna play a lot more. Some of them you're gonna see play a lot more than they will because there will be injuries.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up with a bit of what we have with what we have in the chat. I'll come back, then we'll talk about how well Enzo Fernandez, how well he's actually done under Enzo Maresca. He's been one of our best players under Enzo Maresca, but people aren't paying attention. That's because they're waiting to see tons of assists and tons of goals from him, or see him be maybe what's his name, be asked to see in terms of physicality before they before they believe he's been doing well. He's been one of our best players under Enzo Maresca. And you know what we're going to do actually, because there are uh, uh, not a lot out there to talk about, so we can go start looking to our stats, see who's top in what department. I think that would tell us a lot about
Yeah.
how well our players have done under Enzo Maresca. No matter for what I saying, I wonder why Mudryk wasn't on the bench. I didn't know. I don't know either. We did ask that question on that day, waiting for
It's
Dante to say KDH will force Enzo to be benched. I don't think you'd hear that from him.
No, you won't hear that from
I
me.
don't
And
think
yeah,
that. I
Mudryk
don't
was
think
tactical.
they're different. Enzo doesn't have the pace. Doesn't have the pace of KDH. KDH doesn't have the vision of Enzo, and that's you can say the well I just compared the two most, well, you can say the most pronounced attributes of those two players, in my opinion. KDA's industry, to be more specific, and Enzo Fernandez's vision. Yep, in my opinion, they're not even close. They're two different players. But I know you're just looking for a fight. Were you saying something, Dante?
Yeah, I was just saying Mudryk was tactical. Maresca did say it was tactical. He left him out tactical.
Mm.
Which yeah, you
Enzo
didn't.
cannot, in my opinion, be played in the town. Oh, yeah, even a primary school kid will tell you that. There's a lot of uh, for sure performances from this team, good on the eyes but ineffective. We saw it against Palace, Forest, Bournemouth, and now you're not specific there. You have to say again, speak with clarity so I can. I know you're always looking for somebody to sell. KDH doesn't have the vision of. Ooh, I'm not reading that. Kasade and Jorgensen did too well. Unfortunately, uh, okay, we went with Enzo and Sanchez. Um, Kasade, I learned something the other day that made me happy. Uh, the club actually went looking to sell him, and he decided to stay. I think that kid. I'm happy for him. It makes sense. Our manager is Italian, and he's played. He did play under him at Leicester City, where he did well actually. So he will get his chance. Maybe I think. Let me ask you this, Dante. I don't know him well enough, but I think he's more aligned to Enzo Fernandez's application on the pitch, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. And yes, they had a meeting. Him and Maresca had a meeting, and he decided. Maresca told him in the meeting, and Maresca said this in an interview. Maresca told him he's not going to get that many minutes. What does he want to do? Does he want to go on loan, or does he, what does he want to do? They weren't going to sell him, so they said if they want to go on loan, or is he going to
Yeah,
stay?
because the club likes him.
Yeah, so he said he wants to stay because he likes Maresca and he will earn his minutes.
He
And
also did
he
say
said
he
he took
likes
the risk.
he likes the club. He did mention the club.
Yeah, well, he said he loves the coach first. Yeah, because obviously he's he loves the coach. He's Italian as well, and he did play against Leicester for him, so he obviously loves him. They had a good connection already, and obviously loves the club. He said as well, but then yeah, he said he made the decision. He made that decision, not the club. They gave him the option. He made the decision to stay. So he said he'll stay and fight for minutes, and and he's got some game time already. He's played a little bit in the Conference League, and we're going to see him midweek. He will play in the Conference League quite a lot, in my opinion. So, and yes, he is suited to that role because he's actually physical. He's not fast. He's not a fast player. He's pretty much the same as Enzo, to be honest. He's quite slow. He's not like one of those fast players. So and Maresca's seen that in him, and he's put him in that DM role when he played in the Conference League, and he did pretty well. He's got the physicality for it. He's got the passing range for it. He's got the skill. He's got the technical ability for it. He's never played there, but he actually did well, and he's actually suited to it. His physique,
He
his
has
body
good
is actually
vision
very
too, and he
suited to
has
that.
an eye for goals.
He's suited for that role. It's either that role or like a 10. There's the two probably that suits him the best, in my opinion. The 8, the box to box, no, it doesn't suit him because he's not a runner. He's not going to run around everywhere continuously. It's just I can see he hasn't got that tank to do that. I've seen that in games. He hasn't got that tank. That's because he's young as well. He hasn't quite built up that tank yet to do that. Maybe later on, but it's either the DM, which I'm actually very happy Maresca put him there. I see him as more of a DM with his physicality. I actually like that position for him.
I
The
think that's
technical ability
stereotype,
is
in
good.
my opinion. You guys are just stereotyping. I think the kid is more of a hybrid of 8 and 6. Um, you know,
Yeah,
I think
but he hasn't got the running ability, coach. He hasn't got the tank. So for Maresca, he played in that. He was for KDH. He came off. He played in KDH's position, which was that attacking 8/10 that Palmer plays for us now. That was his position that he played for Leicester City.
yeah. What do you make of this comment on the screen? Do you want me to read it for you, or can you see it?
No, I can see it.
I know probably if you disagree with this one, I'd ask you if
We
you're.
spoke Sanchez. He's lazy. He should have rushed to intercept that cross. Otherwise, the team is good. Yeah, look, I've been saying this for a while, and I did see on social media a lot of people saying, "How can people blame Sanchez for the performance against Liverpool?" Well, I don't know what game they were watching, but yes, there was quite a bit to blame. And the goal, 100%. No, he's not lazy. It's just his IQ. It's not laziness. He's not a lazy keeper. It's his IQ.
When you say IQ, can you be more specific? It's footballing IQ, maybe.
It's footballing IQ when he's under pressure, coach. So when you're under pressure, you have to think quick, and you have to think. You have to know where you're going to pass the ball. You have to think one step ahead. He hasn't got that. He's missing that. He misses that. He hasn't got that footballing IQ to do that. And when you see they put him under pressure, he always makes mistakes. Always. Yeah, he looks good when we play against low block teams. Most of them, they don't put us under pressure. So he plays pretty easily out of the back, and we're playing it around nicely. It's easy. Any keeper can do that. Even Petrovic can do that. Like some people don't think he can, but he can do that very simple. It's when you're under pressure and when a team's squeezing and pushing you, like Liverpool did, the better teams, that's when he gets caught out. And even last season against the best teams, that's when he got caught out against all the best teams because of that reason.
I think you could argue that the pattern is I think it's emerging because Brighton they pressed us very well, and he made a couple of mistakes on that day. Liverpool pressed effectively too. We knew before that game that they pressed very well, even though I'm not sure. Listen, I have again, I still have strong belief, and again, in my opinion, that a strong belief in my opinion that eventually Jorgensen will become the number one, and I know you're the same. He's a much better shot stopper and calmer on the ball.
Yeah.
I was one of those that decided, you know what, Sanchez. He started the season well for us, made a couple of excellent saves here and there. But then again, of late, you
Yeah,
can
he did.
say the mistakes they've become constant. Hardly a game without him making one serious mistake. But usually, if we end up winning that game, people forget. People quickly forget. Some people quickly, even I've been guilty of that. I quickly forget how you said how those
Yes.
mistakes that had the opposition capitalized on those mistakes would be discussing different outcomes for those games, aka lose those games. But go ahead if you were still talking.
100% agree, yeah, coach. That's exactly. He's made one big mistake each single game, every game, and there's been multiple with two or three mistakes. Uh, but we won those games, and he did pull off amazing saves to keep us in those games and win a couple of those games. So he did very well, and like you said, he did very well in that, and that's all good. But our play style is this. This is our play style, and when we play against the better teams. This is still going to be our play style, and that is the problem. When we play these teams, he will suffer. He won't be as effective, and he will make mistakes. And we've seen that already this season. So it's going to continue. I know Maresca will make the change. He bought
It just
Jorgensen
yeah,
for a
you
reason.
know what? It just looks as if it's part of his game.
It is part of his game, and like I said, it's a footballing IQ. He hasn't got that footballing IQ, and that's what I mean when I say that. He hasn't got that part of his game, unfortunately, and he'll never have that because he just won't. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You're not gonna. That's not gonna change. So look, he's a good keeper. Is he a great keeper? No. Is he going to take us anywhere? No, he's not going to take us anywhere. And it's like you said, it's a pattern, and it's not just this season, last season, and the season before with Brighton as well.
Yeah, I think against Brighton, he made mistake. My what
And they're a good team, and they
the
press.
Brighton
They're
account
one of
on
those good
X,
teams this
Brighton
season.
Baubles, he just tweeted, "Sanchez will always be Sanchez."
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead
And
with
coach,
what you were
yeah,
saying.
against the Brighton game, yeah, when he gave 2 goals away, they're a
Yeah,
team that presses high like the good teams, and they've been very good this season. Brighton, they're one of the better teams this season. And he gave two goals away. Why? Because the way they play like Liverpool. They press from the front. They press the opposition keeper. And hey, surprise, surprise, 2 goals he coughed up against Liverpool. Well, yeah, nearly 2 goals basically. In my
yeah.
opinion,
He
yeah,
We were lucky.
he was lucky on the one that he passed to
It was
straight to
like,
Jota.
yeah, who was who?
I
That
think it
was
was
the one
Jota.
when I
Yeah,
screamed so much. My daughter started crying. My
yeah,
mother-in-law
that's
had to
the
say,
one.
"Okay, give
Yeah,
it
the
to me."
child abuse. Yes, that
My
one, and
goodness,
then
that's
obviously
how
even the goal, like
good.
as a second goal, that's for me that's a goalkeeper that should not happen. Jones should never. Once he takes that horrible touch like that, and the ball's 2 meters, 3 meters away from him, and Sanchez just there watching and waiting for him to get in control again and just watch again, and then he doesn't close him down at all, stays on the line, and he puts his hands down by his side. You're supposed to make yourself bigger. If he had his hands up, he would have saved that. So I have no idea what he was doing. Again, for me, it comes back to the football on IQ. He just freezes in those moments, and that's just who he is, unfortunately.
And disclaimer here. We're not saying he should be perfect. It's not even possible. The
It's not.
biggest names in world football: Manuel Neuer, Edson, Allison, some of the best ball playing goalkeepers. They've all had howlers themselves. I've again, every time I talk about this, I did again whenever I talk about this, I mentioned the case of Allison trying to dribble Kelechi Iheanacho. He recovered the ball from him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Neuer, his is actually can be comical, but the issue is when it's almost constant. When he becomes, you
Yeah,
could say, every game, when the goalkeeper starts averaging at least one, you could say, serious mistake per game, a mistake that you could say could lead to opposition teams scoring against us, then it becomes an issue. And I hope the manager does something about it. Just quickly, let me ask you this, Dante. And if you're in the comment section, if you have any questions, drop it there and we'll try to respond. The question I want to ask you, I've heard people talk about this in X that Maresca will eventually go for the Leicester City goalkeeper, that he loves him that much. That begs the question, why did we sign
no,
Jorgensen? Because Jorgensen, for me, I think he's a much better goalkeeper than the Leicester City goalkeeper.
way better.
But preference does matter. If the manager prefers the Leicester City goalkeeper, probably because he knows him, he will eventually get him, and then we'll start asking a lot of uh, questions with regards to why we signed Jorgensen in the first place. And Petrovic, don't forget,
Yeah.
he's not given up on becoming Chelsea's number one. Did you see that interview?
Yeah. Well, he's got to say those things. You can't. What else are you going to say, coach? You have to say those things. You got to be
Okay,
positive.
if that's how you see it, but I think anyway, if that's how you see it, I have no issues with that. But let's hear you. Do you think we still go for the Leicester City goalkeeper just because the
No,
manager likes him?
no. We would have gone for him. I remember we were linked to him. They did want quite a lot. They just signed him the season before, and they put a big contract on him. And yeah, they wanted a lot of money for him. So we were never going to get him, and they still would want a lot of money. Um, Jorgensen, I am pretty much 99.9% sure Enzo wanted him and ticked off on him because he's exactly the same style as the Leicester keeper, but a better shot stopper and even a better ball player than him as well. So much more technical. So I think he was very much an Enzo Maresca signing, in my opinion. The Petrovic move was
Then
also
why
for
do
him.
you think Petrovic? Why do you think what's his name Sanchez is starting in the Premier League over him starting in a Conference League? Because
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, the both still. The Conference League is still a good competition, in my opinion.
yeah.
It's a European competition, first of all. But why do you think Sanchez is starting over Jorgensen in the Premier League?
Look, Jorgensen's never played in the Premier League. He did come in very late. Let's not forget, he came in very late.
That's good. That's a good point.
Yes, he didn't have the preseason. He came after. He came in very late. So uh, I think Maresca just wanted to see how it was, not the pressure on to put it that with those keepers. He wasn't a big signing, Jorgensen. You know, he's not like a big name signing or anything. So I think the pressure as well. So he wanted to see how he handles everything, get to know his teammates better. All right, we'll give Sanchez another go, and that can come from Maresca, or it can come up from the directors as well, to say, okay, let's just look at Sanchez one more time, and if not, we make a decision. He's still not a bad goalkeeper, so let's see how it works in the system. And if Maresca said okay, then he kept him. But Petrovic left probably because Maresca didn't fancy his ball playing ability, and it's pretty obviously that's why he left, in my opinion. So, and it's pretty obvious to me that's why we did sign Jorgensen, because that's his strength. So I think, like you, it's a matter of time. He didn't want to put pressure on the guy. Let's see how he performs. Let's see how he trains. Like I said, let's see how he's training. But he's played very well in the Conference League so far. So If he keeps going doing that, I think it's just a matter of time. And because I know Sanchez will continue to make these mistakes, and we've got the better teams we're playing coming up pretty soon. So they all press more from the front, and they all go after the keeper. So we'll see what happens there, but I think it's a matter of time, and Jorgensen will be the number one, in my opinion, in the next few weeks.
Yeah, he looks so calm on the ball to a concerning level, in my opinion. But I like him. We did our research before his
Yes,
signed
yeah.
for us. We did compare their stats, his stats with that of Sanchez and Petrovic, and yeah, he beat them in some metrics, and some I think in one metric, Sanchez did beat him in one metric for last season. But by the way, let's see what else we have here. Good day to you, to Tapirwa. Tinaro, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I think we've read that, which was what and Dante did respond to it. Chimera is saying, for instance, reaching the opposition box and retreating back. Okay. A build-up play should lead to a shot on target, 0 shots on target in the first half. Dante, you want to speak about that?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, but like we said, the way we played, we were more defensive, and we didn't have that extra player going forward. So that extra player is in centrally. So that's what I talked about earlier, where Palmer was quite isolated there. So he only had left or right to go, and only to that, uh, basically to Sancho or Madueke mostly, because he drifts a bit more to the right usually. Um, yeah, it was a problem because they set up, but that was on purpose to be more defensive, to be more to have that defensive structure. And yes, and as we go a bit further down, Kimura keeps saying, yeah, and Sancho does need to, when he does cut in and does those turns, he does need to shoot more. I agree with that. He needs to probably take some more shots, less dribbling and shots. Um, but other than that, the plan worked pretty well. It's just we didn't have that extra player to cut back to get that extra player in there to cut back to. There was no space. Jackson was between the two central defenders like a sandwich. Every time they looked up to cross the ball, what are you crossing to? You can't cross the ball to him. It's no good. Palmer was always, because he usually starts those plays. He was a bit deeper, so again he wasn't reaching the ball up forward. So there was no one to cut back to again, and that's where we got stuck. We usually have that extra outlet there always, and they know that when they turn back, they have that extra outlet to move the ball quickly. This time we didn't. Uh, that's down to the structure we set up. That did change, like I said, at the 55th minute, and then you did see those runs and those cut back, and we had the ball way more in those positions, and we did create a lot more chances. But that was by design. So that's just the coaching, what they decided on the day. And like I said, it worked very, very well. Unfortunately, just very unlucky that we didn't get at least the minimum of a point, if not all 3 points.
Yeah, Chimera is saying you're blaming Sanchez. What do you have to say?
If you watch the second goal, or yeah, it's poor defending by. I put the blame firstly defensive on Reece James. He turned completely off. Just watched the free player running into the box past him. Didn't even make an attempt. He just froze. I don't know what happened there. Like I said, I called it a schoolboy error, and it was from Reece James. You just can't do that. But then after that, when he did take the touch, completely. If that was Jorgensen, I can guarantee you now he would have straight off this line gone and got ball. Sanchez didn't. He froze. Sanchez froze as well. He stood on his line. He just stayed there and watched Jones take 20 touches, basically, and sit down, have a coffee, and then take a shot. So that's no anticipation. And when you see a player take a really bad touch, you have to capitalize on that, and he didn't. He just stood back. And then when Jones did have the shot, he didn't close him down. He put his hands by his side instead of opening up and being big like keepers are supposed to do. If he just put his arms wide, if he used that technique, which all keepers, really good keepers use, he would have saved that shot, because Jones' shot was pretty bad. It was just a little touch to the left. It was just a bobble up, and if Sanchez's hands were out, he would have saved it very easily. So yeah, I put that on the keeper 100% that as well.
You have an agenda. Let's see what
I
we
have
have
an
here.
agenda.
Talk about Sancho. In my opinion, I think, Kirsten, let me just say overall, the approach worked. The manager's
Yeah,
game plan did work very well, but it did, you could say, it affected Palmer's application on the pitch on the day. And in the case of Jadon Sancho, he had to deal with crowd every time he was on the ball. He had
yep,
to deal with the Liverpool, with a crowded, you can say Liverpool back line, or final a crowded final third, and the Malagusto wasn't overlapping that much, and that was on papers. And the reason the application, the way our players applied themselves on the pitch on the day was on papers, and it worked to a T. But the truth remains, it reduced the number of chances we created. Usually we create more. Usually we finish games with more XG than we did on the day. And you can argue, had the referee been, you could say, consistent, yeah, the game could have ended 2-2. Because I believe we had the penalty that wasn't given to us. But Dante, let's hear you. Sancho
mhm.
wasn't bad, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sancho got in the right spaces, made the right runs. He completely bamboozled and Trent Alexander-Arnold inside out, and that was a clear penalty. Um, so he did well. After that, he kept doing that, but the problem was they were double teaming him, and if you look, he could not put a ball across first time across the box because there's no one there, and if there was, it was only Jackson, and he was marked by two players. There was no one to give it to, so
Crowd, they were defending deep.
hence he always had to turn back, coach. He always had to
Hmm.
turn back. There was no choice. I agree, though, that he could have had a couple of shots. Just have a go. Just have a curler, have a go. There was a couple of
But where
chances where,
can we be
yeah, he could
honest
have had
here?
a
He
go.
was on the flanks. Have a go. Maybe adjust the goalpost for him. Maybe he was
No, no,
again. Majority of the times, he was, you could say, driven to the out to
he
the
was. Yeah, yeah, he was.
to a
Yeah,
crazy
and
angle. But go ahead with what you were saying.
on two occasions, he turned inside on the right outside the box, and he got past two players. Instead of having a shot, he decided to take another dribble, and then it was too late. He couldn't do it. So there was two chances where he could have had a shot, in my personal opinion, when I looked at it. But yeah, that's nitpicking, obviously. But he could have, and he probably should, because there was nothing else happening. So when there's nothing else happening, you got no one else to give. Just have a go, give it a go, have a shot. You never know. You could take a deflection, or you're gonna hit it really well. You need to sometimes just have a go. And yeah, the little tiny little criticism, just have a go sometimes. You need to do that. Yeah.
Man, leave my boy alone, please. I'm gonna come back to the to this. I think more of a question there, but I want to say hello. I haven't seen him in a while. Rich Money Makers, nice to see you. He says, Rich Money Makers celebrates 7 months of membership. Still recovering. God bless the legends on the panel. Have you been sick? Sorry to hear that. I didn't know.
Yep.
I hope, please. Sorry.
Yep. Big up, Rich. Yeah. Sorry. He's been sick for a little while. He's had a
I didn't know that really. Sorry to hear
Yeah,
that,
he's
bro.
had a bit of a relapse. I talked to him in the private, so he sent me a few messages, so I know. So I just sent him a get well message the other day, so I hope he's doing much better.
Why didn't you tell us?
He tells me, coach, because I'm more important, so he told me.
Don't let your head explode. All right, but more importantly, Reach, Leighton, sorry to hear that you've not been feeling well, but glad to see you. It's a sign that you're recovering or you're fully recovered. Um, but I'm happy to see you, more importantly, and sorry to hear that you've not been well. And this here from Rich Moneymaker. So I'm going to go back to this, Dante. Another question for you, which reads, "Hi, what is the problem of Chelsea? In my view, Sanchez is the main problem. In addition to this, the tempo has been cool after 25 to 40 minutes. Dante, are you able to comprehend that? Or I can help
No, he's
interpret. I
not
think
the.
it's pretty
He's
much
one
there.
of the problems.
Missing a
Yeah,
few
look,
words, but still, I think you can understand. Uh,
yeah, no, I understand. I understand. It's all.
okay, go ahead. That question is for you.
Yeah, look, he's not the main big major problem. He's not. He's He's a little problem, 100%, but he's not the big major problem. Uh, but yeah, he's a problem. It's going to cost us, like we talked about quite a lot before. I'm not sure he might have not heard, might have joined late. But yeah, he is a little bit of a problem. He will cost us against the teams that press high and put pressure on him. He already has this season, and if he continue, he will do that again if Maresca doesn't make the change. Um, Look, we've got a keeper there. We've got Jorgensen. He needs to give him a go. So this is the second time that he's made big errors. So we'll see the game against Newcastle. We are playing him twice, but one's in the cup, I think. So probably won't play both. I think he's got another life. I think if he does game that again and does those mistakes, I think he will be taken off, and I think Jorgensen will take his place. And that's the reason he was brought. Have it on.
All right, looks like we're losing Dante's lost audio right there. Liverpool crowd, horrible excuse there, coach. Sancho played against Liverpool with United and scored and assisted. Okay, how did Liverpool play on that day? I don't think we should be comparing the games either, but I get where you're coming from. Let's see, Jackson killed Palmer in Sancho's game. Wow, some argument right there. You have to elaborate. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by there. By that, Sancho hasn't had a single shot since his debut. Really? I it sounds about right if I remember. I've watched all the games he's played. Sancho, I was given a Trent. Hell no. What else do we have here? Anything serious here to look? Salah and Gravenberg had to save Trent. Okay. Okay, all right. I'm gonna move. And Rich Money Makers here saying God bless everyone in the chat room. Everyone hit the like button and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Leighton, nice to see you. Glad to again to see you. It's a sign that you're recovering, and I'll keep praying for you. Anything else here before we start? We'll go news
Coach,
hunting.
are you
That's what
telling
we call
yourself
it.
to go away there in the chat?
So-
Are you abusing yourself?
no, I was telling Chimera to go away. He's probably not listening. But that's by the way. So let's go news hunting. We're here. We've read this. We've addressed that. I think we've read Niger Ryokoka. I remember that name. Okay, let's hear his own boohoo. They all have been saying nonsense about Enzo Fernandez. This here reads Niger Ryokoka. The one thing that actually is puzzling to me, though, I looked at the midfield partnership of Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo today, and I felt that's the best. Chelsea have looked at midfield; they looked strong in there, and goes to the point again. Okay, let's just read it. Let's see what does he say there, and goes to the point again. Now at the start of the season, at the Enzo Fernandez incident, you make him club captain, and yet he's not playing in probably one of the biggest game of the season. Jesus Christ, what am I reading here? So far away at Anfield against a title contenders Liverpool. So that's quite another interesting part in this whole game day. This is absolute nonsense. I don't even know what to make of this.
It's one game. Oh my goodness!
I just
After the
don't know.
international
And plus,
break,
the guy traveled.
yeah, he was the last to come back. Played so
Yeah.
much. They
So
were in high
what is this
altitude. Yeah,
nonsense about? I just don't understand.
yeah. They can start saying that if he's dropped 3-4 games, 4 games in a row. But you can't after one game. I mean, it just makes no sense to say that after one game. I don't know where they. This guy's he's an ex-player as well. I don't know. I don't think he watches all the Chelsea games, to be honest. I doubt it very much. But yeah, look, after one game, you can't say that. That's just yeah.
Yes, and I think probably those that are quick to highlight the fact that he didn't start that game. You can say are those that are even before the incident, the so-called incident, maybe whatever you want to call it. They've
Yeah,
had
of
it at the
course.
back of their mind that he's not good enough for the Premier League, and probably that Enzo Maresca would drop him for Romeo Lavia. So once he was on the bench, yeah, that aligns with their belief. So they ran with it. But it just doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna tell people this, and I'm gonna keep saying it. As long as he's fit enough, I think in most cases you'd see him on the pitch. Then either one of the two would drop to the bench. I don't care who you define as either one of the two, but I'll
Yeah,
tell you this. I think Enzo Fernandez is one of the manager's most important players this season, in my opinion. Enzo Maresca is one of Enzo Maresca's most important players. He is to Enzo Maresca what Gallagher was to Mauricio Pochettino, and I'm not saying that lightly. And I'll come back. I'd really like us to talk to discuss in detail how well Enzo Fernandez has done under Enzo Maresca. If you say he's not done well, you being disingenuous, in my opinion, or maybe you've not been paying attention. Sanchez cost us that game. I refuse to blame anybody, really. We played
No.
well enough to win, but we didn't win. Drop Enzo as soon as possible. Carney, Casadei, KDH are better options in your opinion. But Tayo, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. According to my trusted, I've missed this. Dante, I really missed the reading comments from Leighton. Um, according to my trusted sources and party, okay, they are discussing removing Sanchez, but he will have another chance because today might become a first team player for defensive midfield role to help play. Sorry for remixing whatever you have on there. I just had to plug in some words there to make sense of what you're saying. I know probably you still know fully fit. Yeah, free Andres Santos Tayo. I think you're here to fight. I'd be saying, Coach, you read the report. Have you read the report that some people at Chelsea are upset with Enzo's treatment of Harvey Vale? Folks believe Vale should be training with the first team. I don't give a rat's behind who's in the first team and who isn't. I'm not the manager. He gets paid millions to decide who's part of his plans, who gets to be part of the squad, and who is surplus to the requirement. And whatever he decides, I'm for it. And especially after I've seen how good of a manager he is, that he's an excellent manager. That tactically, yeah, he's the right guy for us. Actually, we've finally gotten the right manager. And I don't care who he drops. I don't care who he selects. The most I will do is have a conversation about it, and that's it. Really. That's me. I don't know, Dante, if you have anything else to say. Harvey Vale, who?
I mean, that's just silly, that one. 18-year-old Harvey Vale, that, yeah, I mean, look, he's a good talent, but he's nowhere near any close to a player that Enzo is. So, yeah, it's not, not even close. We talk about this a lot, that English bias. And unfortunately, it's just there a lot lately. It's just there so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, entire irony. Ilorukba, I don't agree. That's a lie. You telling me that Enzo doesn't trust Enzo? It's clear. No. For what? Because he didn't start a game after an international break, but he started literally every other Premier League game except for
And made him
I think
captain.
he started one of the Conference League games actually, right? Didn't he?
Well, I can't remember.
I think he started
He came
one.
on, I think. I
Yeah.
don't think he started. I can't remember
So
exactly.
So I don't believe for a second your argument that Enzo doesn't trust Enzo. Maybe because it's a good rhyme, you just want to say it for the sake of it. Um, okay, Enzo and Sanchez scapegoated. It's like a troubleshooting the wrong error code. Are you a coder? That sounds for me. Sounds like what a coder would say. Yep. When you troubleshoot the wrong error code, you end up breaking everything you've done right. According to my trusted sources, we're not going for the Leicester City goalkeeper. Enzo wasn't happy after the Liverpool game, but he will not be dropped because he helps our attack. Our coach is trying to use. Okay, the format our coach is trying to use. Are you really saying that Enzo is a good? Yep. I'm saying it with my chest. We can have that argument. You can come onto the panel so we can debate about it. There are other arguments you could say. You, I don't know. Just come out to the panel and let's talk about it. He has been crap. I don't know where he's been crap. On that Enzo Maresca, he's been one of our best players, and we'll talk about that in a bit. The goalkeeper, um, playing out from the back. Instead, will use Levi Colwell to start the pattern of play to begin. Okay, Rich Money Makers. Let's see. Smash that like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have 112 people watching, only 17 of those on YouTube. The rest on X. We sincerely do appreciate you all. Help us to get to 5,000 followers in X by following our X account, and also do like the video. Colwell is wow because of a single game. He's been improving. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting better. And the more he plays, the better he gets. We need another DM as soon as possible to give Caicedo a break. If he breaks down, we are in serious trouble. I don't think we need to sign any other DM. We don't need to do that. All I gotta say is we have an 86% winning rate without Enzo. Even the stats cannot save bro at the moment. Okay, if that's what makes you happy, enjoy. But remember, how many games have we lost under Enzo Maresca, and how many did he miss? More likes, people, more likes. I appreciate you all. Talking to Mike and Noom there, and GFC. Got it! Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, my bro. We will talk soon. I appreciate you for all the support. I know probably you are at work. Big up to you, to Mabas05, my Iraqi bro. Nice to see you. And Dante, RIP to the former One Direction member, Liam Payne, who died at the tender age of 31. Oh, sorry to hear that. May he so rest in peace. But nice to see you, Mabas. I do hope you're doing well. He made Trent commit a penalty just before that. What game are you watching? Yeah. Could she put him there for political and price tag reasons, not footballing reasons? Read the body language. Who exactly? He's talking about Colwell. I think so.
No, Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo is a headache. He was a headache for Pochettino too. Maresca needs to figure it out. I think Maresca, he's already figured it out. And we'll talk about that in a bit. Let me just say hello to people. Hello to all of you. And Kishan, my New York bro, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Lavia is our best DM when fit. Lavia and Caicedo is our best midfield pairing at the moment. Wow. Okay. Defensive solidity. And we're going to sacrifice something in terms of our ability to attack quickly. Also, RIP to the former Sheffield United right back, right wing back, George Baldock, who also died at the tender age of 31. May he so rest in peace. Sorry to disappoint your childhood, disappoint you, Lord Dante. James gave the amber to Caicedo, not Enzo. Maybe Caicedo was close by. Well, okay, sorry
That's
to
exactly
to
why
hear
he was
that.
close by, and
Yeah,
Enzo was on the bench at the time, coming on.
yeah, exactly. Look at them trying coming with this agenda. Dante, let's talk about this, Dante. How good Enzo Fernandez has been under Enzo Maresca. But the truth remains, as long as he doesn't have 10 assists and at least 5 goals, he falls into the category of one of our worst players, according to some people and some nonsense person like Vic in the chat. Go look at all the goals we scored. Majority of those goals, he has a hand in them, not directly. Especially against Wolves, I think 2 goals against Wolves, he had a hand in us winning the ball. I think usually how we press whenever he's on the pitch, we have 2 players pressuring the opposition player on the ball, and he stays again. He keeps watch. The moment the opposition player loses the ball, be rest assured he's getting it. In all honesty, he's been one of our best players under Enzo Maresca. He's done well defensively, and see how he's helped us play out from the back effectively. Although he doesn't beat the press by dribbling, he beats the press with one-touch passes that even in the most tightest of spaces, he waits for the ball. He asks for the ball, and if you can get the ball to him, boom, one touch. In most cases, he starts an attack, counter attack with us quickly like this. It doesn't take him too long to find somebody, and you know he has excellent vision. And I'm going to tell you this: as long as he's fit enough, he will be starting. I don't know who makes weight, but remember I told you this, and I've been saying this since the start of the season, and that has actually been the case. And I'd still argue that had it not been for the international break, he would have started the Liverpool game. But Dante, let's talk about how important he's been under Enzo Maresca. I'd argue he's been one of our best players under Enzo Maresca. And I'll bring up the statistics specific to Chelsea Football Club. So we'll see who's stopping what the badminton does of the performances of our players. But let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, like you say, coach, he's been involved in goals, not directly assisted, but it's like a goal to assist where he's, put those passes beforehand and opened up the play. He's done that on quite a number of times. Look, he's very important for Maresca. He made him his captain for a reason. He wants him to be that guy to, lead on the field and also play through him, basically. So he's very important. Has he been the best? Oh my God, the best player? No, he hasn't been. He can still be a lot better. He's still got to improve. He can do much better. He's had really good games, and then had a couple of games where he wasn't as effective. It's going to happen depending on opposition and where he plays. And I keep coming back to that. When he played deeper in the games that he's played, half of them, probably just under half of them, probably deeper, he's been up there, one of the best players on the field, and controlled the game, the tempo. Even when he hasn't, he still controls it. But he's the one that switches the ball across a lot. He still tries to dictate. He's the one that coach trusts, that he actually sends out messages. He wants him how to slow down the play, make it a bit quicker, switch the ball, play more switching balls. That I see Maresca yelling that out all the time to him and pointing and doing stuff like that. So it's his go-to guy that he sends those messages to basically control the game tempo and how he wants him to play, to get the messages to other players. So he's very important. Like you say, all the points you've said, exactly are spot on with those ones. It's just we don't see the goals or the assists and that. We don't see that, and that's not flashy. And for that, a lot of people, look at that only, unfortunately. Can he still be criticized? Of course he can be criticized, because he
I
had a
mean,
couple
he's
of
not
games that
perfect.
he's not perfect. He had some games that he wasn't very good in. He was just okay. He had a couple of two games that I remember that he wasn't that good at all. He made a couple of errors. He wasn't himself. And that's, again, up to the coach. He's got to coach that, manage that, see how they're doing training, what he needs to read the players, opposition, etc. Like you said, he came back. This I 100% agree. It's he had the international break, played a lot, came back very late. So I think it was one of those decisions, and just the opposition that we played against as well. So he's not going to be dropped every game. He's not going to be on the bench. No, like you said, he will be a starter, and he'll be rotating with. He'll be on the pitch more than most of the other ones, but he will be also rotating with Lavia and Caicedo. So
As
he's very important.
here's my theory
Yeah,
here, Dante, if you don't mind, 1 second, please.
go for it. Yeah.
He's unique. Let me you can say state how unique he is, how he differs from Caicedo and Lavia. Caicedo and Lavia are more defensively sound, better at winning back the ball.
Yeah, they're more dynamic, coach. They have that. Yeah, definitely.
The language, so that just I'm avoiding. I don't want you to come at me. Here's the thing:
Stop talking
the
about.
other
Why did you
two
put the
are
balls on the?
more.
Why did you put that picture up?
Let me use a language that you can say mask. You can say something. The other language is not gonna lead to your mind, or you can say finding itself in the gutter. Here's the thing. Um, the other two players are more defensively sound than Enzo Fernandez. No question. Lavia is better at beating the press than any other midfielder we have right now.
Yep.
I don't know who else. And also he's defensively solid. Moises Caicedo is defensively solid, and both can fulfill the DM role. But Enzo Fernandez cannot fulfill the DM role, except if you just want him to play there as a deep lying playmaker, not with the intent of him protecting the defensive line or shielding the defensive line, whatever language you prefer. But he's unique in the sense, the way the manager has used him, I think the manager will be rotating Caicedo and Lavia and almost always play Enzo, except if he feels like he doesn't want to overload him and switch him up with someone else. But that's my opinion because he's unique. Caicedo cannot play like Enzo, but Caicedo can play like Lavia in terms of
Defensively, yeah,
in
winning
terms
the
of
ball, mark tackles,
defense.
yeah.
Why am I avoiding using balls? What's wrong with it? In terms of, you can say, shielding the defensive line, he can fulfill that role, and Lavia can fulfill that role in the absence of Moises Caicedo even better because he can beat the press more effectively than Caicedo can. But it looks like Caicedo is maybe, I think, maybe a better passer of the ball. Maybe I'm still learning about the two of them, but definitely both are more defensively sounded than Enzo Fernandez, in my opinion. So you get my point there. I don't know if you agree, but let's hear you.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, pretty much exactly what you said. So, yeah, you're spot on, coach. It's my opinion as well. So, I think he will be there on more than the other two, and the other two will get rotated. Look, Caicedo is still very important to Maresca as well, the way we play. So, and we did see in preseason that Lavia was very important to Maresca in preseason. He played him pretty much every game we saw him play, and he played quite a bit, and he did use him in that role quite a bit. So, even at Southampton, we saw Lavia can play the CM and the DM role. He can play both those roles. He's
Yep.
got the speed. He's got the
I
technical
actually used to
ability.
think that he's more of a hybrid of 8 and 6 than a traditional 6. But here's the thing:
Yeah, he
I
is.
think maybe people are just stereotyping him as an 8 because of his ball winning. He's because he's defensively sound. I don't know. Look at what you've done to me, but just go ahead.
He's very strong, coach, as well. He's a physical player. For his height, he's
Mhm.
very physical. He's very muscly. He's like a very physical player. He, goes hard at the ball, and he's got dynamism. So he goes really, he's quite got that athletic ability. He's got he reads the play very quickly. He's got the footballing IQ as well, very high. So yeah, for his age, he's got very, very good footballing IQ. So we saw that against Liverpool, turning out, beating his man, beating the press, taking a touch, extra touch, getting away from the player. They couldn't get him at all. Like they couldn't touch him basically. So he's got that IQ. He thinks one step ahead, and that's why he's got that high IQ, in my opinion. Because once players do that and they, think one step ahead, yep, they always beat their man pretty much. So he's got it all. He
And
can play
more
that
importantly, he's
box role as
fearless.
well. I just think he hasn't got the one thing he hasn't got that Caicedo has over him is the tank. He hasn't got the tank because of the way he plays and how physical he is and how he plays. He uses his energy up very, very.
Looks like we have Dante still using that Walmart standard internet connection. He's gonna come back, then I'll let him speak.
Can you hear me?
Are you back?
Still there?
You didn't hear anything, right?
Can you hear me, coach? Can you hear me or not?
Your connection dropped. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. What did you hear last?
I don't remember, but did you hear me talk about Walmart internet level internet connection?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did hear you. Of course, you always mention it. Don't worry.
But go
Um,
ahead.
Look, the reason Lavia I was saying, I'm not sure if everyone heard it. The reason Lavia plays DM is because he hasn't got the tank. And when I'm talking about tank, the athletic ability to run around the pitch everywhere, he hasn't got that yet. He's too young. You just don't have that at that age. It's very important when you become older, more mature. You can run way more consistently. You got that fit. I call it tank because you got it in that you can run around a lot more. At when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. 22. I didn't have that. When I started getting 23, 24, 28, it's like you can run around the pitch way more and not lose that energy. So Lavia plays with such intensity. He's strong. He's physically strong. I saw him breathing heavier quite a few times. He hasn't got that tank to play, and that's why he plays that defensive midfield role more now while he's younger. He will develop and he will get better, and you will see him, I think, move more into the CM role as well. But that's why Caicedo is much better in that position, the CM role, because he can do that. He's got a tank. He can run like Kante did. He can run around the pitch all day, all long, can play all 90 minutes. And Caicedo can do that. He's got that now. He's entered that. He's got his age 23, how's it, 24, 23. he just started, so he's got that already. Lavia hasn't got that yet, and that's the big difference why he plays DM, and he doesn't really go much forward because it's hard for him to get his breath back and catch up and then do all that hard work again. He can't do that yet, not at the moment, not how he plays.
Yeah, a lot of people will get the shocks of your life when they find out that Enzo will be a constant in the managers in Enzo Maresca's lineup. And I know a lot of people start arguing, yeah, because of how much you paid for him. No, he's an excellent player, but unfortunately for him, he's that sort of Jorginho type of player where you don't know what he brings to the team, which is why a lot of Chelsea fans were calling out Jorginho at the time, even when again there were occasions where we didn't have him and we struggled to control games, and the opposition mopped the stadium carpet with us. People still didn't learn the importance of Jorginho at the time. But that's, by the way, big up legend Gavin and the legend Vic Mabasi's. That's Rich Moneymaker saying hello to everybody. Yep, Rich Moneymakers. Let's see. Yep, saying hello to Leighton. Yep, Leighton. He's recovering. More importantly, he's recovering. And that's a 90 plus. Okay, pod minutes. It says 90 plus pod minutes. Do I not know that name? Am I mixing things up here? Reads our team Chelsea get nervous when playing top teams. That makes us lose. Were we nervous against Liverpool? Maybe in the final third. I think we were.
And Colwell making
And then,
being
yeah,
rash.
defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead with what you were saying. But remember how we talked about, again, how on that persistent pressure, our defensive line starts shaking. It could have been worse if we had Fofana and Colwell on the pitch, in all honesty. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Colwell still has that nervous. We talked about it last night on the show. He's got that. He plays nervous. He's very rash. And we saw that again. He's made that silly challenge. He should never put his foot in there at all. So he made that and gave away a penalty, and it cost us in the end. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. Still a little bit of maturity, but this game, yeah. Besides that, we pretty much played. You can't play Liverpool better at Anfield that we did, to be honest. So yeah, we were very confident from the start. We played very, very well, in my opinion. I don't think we were as nervous, except some individual players, like I said, like Colwell, that challenge, yeah, 100%. But passing the ball around and the way we spread around and passed it around and kept possession, to do that to Liverpool at Anfield, that doesn't happen. So yeah, we actually played extremely well.
Yeah, we did play very well. I think maybe I don't know, in the final third, in the first half, that first few minutes that we were on them persistently, I think we did come across it like as if we were a bit nervous, even though we were playing them at the time. If they themselves were nervous, I think it was a nervy first
They
few
were
minutes
as
for
well,
both
yeah.
teams.
Yeah. Yeah, Liverpool as well, coach. They sensed that they had to drop back. If they didn't,
Otherwise, they'd concede in that early
they
minutes.
conceded.
Yeah,
If they didn't, they would have conceded if they didn't
yeah.
drop back. They sensed they had to do it. The coach instructed them to do it. They dropped back, sat back the last 30 minutes, and that's when we created those chances. And that takes a lot to do. So yeah, Liverpool had a pretty good game plan as well. They did pretty well, executed it well. But yeah, you don't see many teams doing that at Anfield, dominating possession like that and making Liverpool do that. So yeah, it's a shame. Like you said, we didn't get at least a minimum a point we deserved. Could have got all three as well, but yeah, just unlucky referee calls and just like you said, a couple of the finishing. Palmer with his couple of chances. Let's not forget even Nicola Jackson, that beautiful through ball to him, and he smashed it against the outside of the post. That was very much needed. I thought that was in, actually. That was actually a very good shot from him from a really tight angle. People thought he missed it completely, but if you look back at it, he actually hit the post. The bar, the side of the bar, right in the corner on the top. So that was actually a very good chance as well. So he actually did pretty well with that as well. The Palmer ones for me, the Palmer one, the miss. Yeah, Palmer any other day he would put those away. He had two really, really, really good chances. For him, they were easy chances. And yeah, unfortunately, it just wasn't his day.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Vicky is saying, City Enzo's backside on the bench. I cannot stand him. I know you don't like him. You
That's
have an
hate.
Enzo
That's hate.
agenda. Yeah, that's hate. Yeah, that's hate. Really, we're gonna block you. Enzo is not good at anything. Just go away. Go back to work. Nobody wants you here. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, just people saying hello to each other. There, anything else? Did see a comment from Kishan. I hope Kishan don't block anybody here. Um, Casado and Lavia are both offensively better than Enzo. I don't think so. I haven't compared them. Maybe they are, but no. Enzo has better vision, irrespective of what you think of him. But I don't know. It's possible. I haven't compared them. I haven't compared the offensive ability. I just know what makes them different, how they differ. That's it. And I've talked about that. But Dante, I don't know. Do you believe that, or do you think that's the case?
It just depends where they're playing. If they're playing for the country or for the club, to play a
It's a
little bit
difficult
different.
one to do, right?
Well, Caicedo plays the CM more forward, box to box. He doesn't play as a DM for his country, and he does score goals and assist quite a bit. So yeah, you can say that yes because of that. Yeah, probably, and he's had more assists in in the Premier League as well. So yeah, if you look at it that way, yeah, he probably is a little bit better at creating or actually scoring. But then again, Enzo does score for his country quite a lot as well. So it just depends how you look at it. To be honest,
And even though
they're
he
pretty
operates
similar.
flying
It's not
playmaker.
it's not much of a difference offensively, to be honest. If I had to give it slightly, maybe Caicedo slightly, but very slightly, not by much.
You can say that he's an excellent passer of the ball too. He's able to pick defenses apart even from a deep position. He has good
Yeah,
passing range in him. Yes, then none of them is excellent offensively, in my
no, they're
opinion.
not. No, they're not.
No, they're
They're not
not.
offensive
Let's
players.
just be
It's not.
honest.
Yeah,
In my opinion. Let's see. Casado and Lavia. I think I've read that from Markin Noom. Mabasti's back. He's going to be mentioning my name every minute. Coachella out. You and Dante thought that I had 44 timeouts. I have checked the channel's activity and it says that I have 44 timeouts. No, it's your fault. For always, towards the end of every show, you'll be typing nonsense and Nightbot usually gets mad at you. Three things consistent with this morning show. Chelsea coach, Chelsea and coach sipping coffee and Dante internet dropping. Just go away, man. Leave me alone. Let me read something serious here. Anything else here? Let's see anything serious here. Saying with all the brown envelopes coming through recently, Dante should have Elon Musk to install a personalized Starlink for him. Wow, that is serious. Enzo Fernandez is a Jorginho type of player, but he can pass better than Jorginho. Do I think that's how do they even differ?
long balls. Yes,
Line balls maybe, and
yes.
they're both deep line playmakers. You could call them register if you want. Long balls maybe. Yeah,
Also,
they're the same.
yeah. Also, the power in his passing, Enzo's got that more than Jorginho. Jorginho was finesse
And
passing,
Enzo is more physical.
more physical, and yeah, Jorginho was his finesse passing. It was just his tempo, controlling tempo, but finesse passing. He never hit the ball hard. It's just very soft, nice finesse touches. But Enzo can hit those, longer through balls and can put power behind his pass if he wants to.
Yeah, let's talk about this a bit before we look at the stats. We still have about 24 minutes before the end of the show. Enzo is a deep line playmaker, absolutely. He has no business being in the final third, and I agree. I think we've said that 1,000 times. But Heston,
Yeah.
under Enzo Maresca, he's not static. I think he has freedom. Am I wrong, Dante?
No, he does. He's got more freedom, definitely. He's
Yep.
playing in that, CM role that's box to box.
He's always closer to the ball because he's you could say he makes us tick. He's always close to take the
Yeah, look,
ball in most. Yeah, go ahead.
I still want him deeper, like Keyshawn and yourself. We want him deeper to
Like
play.
you want him stationed in a deeper position.
Yeah, I do. I still want him there, just because. he can control the game and everything goes through him. This way, not everything goes through him. He doesn't control the game as much, and he's not in the game as much as he would be. Like I said, the two games where he did play in that deep lying playmaking position, he was the top two player on the field both games. In I think one of the man of the match, one of them, and the other one the second best on field. So
Yes, here's the thing. I like that situation where every time we're on the ball, he's the guy completing the triangle. Um, I get it. I think Maresca is still using him as a deep line playmaker, but not necessarily a static version of that role. I think he has the freedom to be closer to the ball all the time, and I think he has worked.
do you think he has the
Actually,
tank, or like I
he
was
has
talking about the
worked, in my
tank
opinion.
earlier, to run all over the pitch?
I'm, I mean, even with that role, in that role, he doesn't run too much. He can still fulfill that role without being a Gallagher.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, I look at it that role is a Caicedo role where you need to be box to box. You need to be pretty okay going forward, and o- good going backwards as well. He just doesn't have that part. Like we were saying, he's not really an offensive player, and also the running around too much. Just I don't see him as that player yet. He will probably as he gets older, but not quite yet. Let's not forget he's very young still. So people think he's 27, 28. He's still
Yeah,
young.
unfortunately, I think usually it's easy to not consider the age of the player because we've been hearing about them so much that we don't. You can say, I mean, we don't consider that they're still developing, really. But go ahead with what you were
Yeah,
saying.
and the body, especially the body coach, they still 21, 22. The body still's not. It's especially at that you play, your body changes quite a lot at that period. That's when it changes for the good or for the bad, or you stay kind of what you are. But there's a big change at that age when you're 21, 22, 23. That's when you start your body kind of, start at 23, 24, then you're kind of settled. But that 22 to 24 age, yeah, your body changes a little bit right there. So maybe Maresca is playing him in that role that he wants him to build his tank up and be more of that type of player. We don't know. We don't have that insight. That's the only thing I can see. He wants him to play there more, just to get more, build up that part of his, that part of his game. But when I see that we have Caicedo, I think he should be in that role because he does it so well and he can run around all game. He's already got that. He's got that tank already. So that's why I like, and like Kishan was saying, I like him deeper. I know you like him as well, deeper, and I think he'll be just more effective, way more effective. And Vic there saying in the chat that deep line playmaker who cannot defend. Well, yeah, Jorginho did not defend, Fabregas could not defend, and they were World Cup players and won everything. So, yeah,
Registers usually are not good at defending.
no, they're not good at defending. Pirlo. Can Pirlo defend? No. Pirlo, one of the greats ever. He did not defend, but he could control the game, everything from back there. It doesn't matter. He's got backup to defend. That's why you're inverting a fullback to defend and play that role and do the dirty defensive work. So you've got that backup there. So that's why I want him to play that DM role. And you've got Cucurella or Vega, Reece James, whatever, Gusto, whoever inverts. You've got that. You've got that there to cover for the defensive. If you can't, But when I have seen him play that DM coach role, he's looked very good defensively. Why? Because he's got energy and he can go hard in tackles. And you see him; he doesn't pull out of a tackle. He actually played those two games. He played probably his best two defensive games. Why? Because he was put in that position and he had more energy to do it. And he does love a tackle. He's South American, so he's got that flair. So he loves the tackle, goes in hard. And like you said, he won two of the goals we scored in that game. He won the challenges, he won the tackles, and started the play, and we scored from his defensive play. So
All
he
right.
can do it.
Let's see what else we have here. Thank you so much for that. Let's catch up with a bit of what we have. Look at the numbers and then we'll call it a day. Vic, just go back to work and leave me alone. The earlier we drop Enzo, the better. I mean, if it makes you happy to keep saying that, go ahead. Caicedo is the Ecuadorian. We know
No.
Fabregas and Enzo in the same. How big is the envelope, Dante? You tell him.
It's all right. He's obviously,
Looks like
he's obviously got an agenda.
he has time today.
Hey, he's
So
got a
let's
bit of
look at
faith in
this
him today.
leading what table in terms of statistics. Cole Palmer top scorer 6 goals, Nicholas Jackson 5, Nani Madueke 4. I don't want to extend that. Let's keep it at 3. Cole Palmer also assists. He has 5 assists, so 11 goal plus assists in total. So we're not gonna look. We're not gonna look at that one. Jadon Sancho 3 assists. Wow, I didn't know that. Nicholas Jackson 3 assists in total. Let's move on. Not we don't need Fort Mob rating. Goals per 90 minutes. Cole Palmer is top on that 0.79, followed by João Felix 0.76, Nicholas Jackson 0.73. Expected goals, Nicholas Jackson tops that 5.5, Cole Palmer 4.7, Nani Madueke 1.9.
Low.
XG per 19 minutes, Christopher Nkunku 1.02, Nicholas Jackson 0.80, Cole Palmer 0.62. Anything important here? Shots on target, let's look at that. Christopher Nkunku 1.9, Nicholas Jackson 1.8, Nani Madueke 1.6. Okay. Shots per 90 minutes. Joao Felix has more, 5.3. The disparity is 2 point something with that of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer 3.7, Nani Madueke 3.7. Accurate passes per 90 minutes. Tosin 72.2. Wow. Liver Cover 64.3. Renato Vega 56.7. Probably useless stats in my opinion. A lot of sideways passes for sure. Big chances created. Cole Palmer 9 in total. Nicholas Jackson 3. Moises Caicedo 3. Okay. Chances created. Cole Palmer 24. Renato Pedro Neto 9. Wow. And Enzo Fernandez 9. And probably the chances he created, you could say those at the end of the ball, the chances he created didn't put the chances away. So he's,
Yeah, there were. Yeah.
yeah. What did you say?
Yeah, half of those are pretty. If I remember right, half of those they should have been goals, but yeah,
Yeah,
are not.
exactly. So
Yeah.
he's just like that, that time where Jorginho created a few good chances, but Timo Werner and the others were just saying you're not getting an assist from through me or some to that effect. So he's just been unlucky. Accurate long balls per 90 minutes. Levi Cole 3.6, Enzo Fernandez 3.3, Cole Palmer 2.9. Anything else important here? Successful dribbles, Jadon Sancho 3.5, João Felix 2.3, Pedro Neto 2.2. I thought I'd see Nani Madueke there.
No, and we can talk about that because it's quite heated on X about Nani Madueke, coach. If we want to get into that one.
With you, Vic, or you? Yeah, you go ahead if you want to talk about that.
Well, I've just seen that it's quite divided. Half the fan base is Madueke should be dropped, and half the fan base, no, how can you drop Madueke? He's one of our best players. So I just wanted to ask, what do you think about that? If you want, I'll go first, or you want to go?
Here's part of the argument that I want to get into or debate is that he's selfish. Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I haven't said that. I've always said he's a good player.
No, he's a good player,
and he's selfish, and you can say sometimes selfishness could be the difference between a team winning a game or losing a game. And sometimes you also do need a player to be selfish so that
Correct.
to help you win a game if things aren't going according to plans. And Heston, in this case, he shows selfishness more times than he shows selflessness. If a player shows selflessness a lot of times and every now and then shows selfishness, then it's not an issue. But in this case, a lot of times he shows selfishness, then he shows selflessness, and that's a huge problem for me. And that's a difference between him becoming a good player, in my opinion. That's all that is left. him almost always looking up, trying to find his better positioned teammate to square the ball to that person to ensure just prioritize the team getting the goal over him get as an individual getting the goal, or prioritizing the team winning a game over him scoring a goal. I still have strong belief that that's something that over time he will improve and be less selfish and more selfless. I think was it what's this Niger bro on X when making an argument. Do you know the one assist he brought up? That one where on the Pochettino that during his post game presser, Pochettino did say something to the effect of that he was happy to see Nani Madueke square the ball to Nicholas Jackson. So there aren't too many instances of him trying to find his teammate, or maybe you could say squaring the ball to his teammate to get the goal, him prioritizing team glory or over personal glory. But there are a lot of instances of him being selfless, of being
Yeah, yeah.
selfish, so to speak. So that's where that's a problem for me. But let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, pretty much spot on, coach. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's look one of the reasons is, and he needs to be selfish sometimes because he has to, but it's the way he plays as well.
But
And
don't be
what's
selfish
the
too many
most
times.
too many? But the number one pattern that I've seen, the last sort of 4 games, 5 games out of him, Palmer sets him up from deep to the right, puts him through, or gives him a really nice ball, and he's either one on one with his guy, and he takes him on, and he goes because he runs quite hard, and he's quite aggressive. But then there's no one in the middle to give it to because he's too aggressive and he's there ahead of everyone. So then he has to be kind of a bit selfish, and then it is a little problem I've noticed recently, and I did mention that a couple of weeks ago that I've picked up on it. It kind of
And
gets everyone
I
out of the
don't know why
play.
some people are arguing that he's not selfish.
No, he is. He can be very selfish in some games. He was in some games quite selfish, but the you've hit the nail on the head. You got to know when to be selfish and when not to be. And unfortunately, he doesn't know that yet. He's still figuring out. And when he's not selfish, he's kind of forcing it. You can see he's forcing it. I can see
And
it.
when
I
he
don't know if people can
forces
pick
it,
it up.
he start forcing. When he starts forcing it, he comes across, you can say, as bad,
Correct. Yeah.
because you could see him sulking a bit after he does some nonsense and
Yeah.
probably end up not being productive. You see him
Yeah.
sulking. I've seen that a lot myself. Go
Oh yeah,
ahead.
you can see that a lot. But also when he does play the ball or pass it, he forces that pass. He forces himself to make it. It doesn't come naturally, and it's not usually the outcome is not the best because of that reason. That's how I see it when I see him do it. Uh, and if that player doesn't score or something, then like you said, he sulks like crazy. So
Yeah.
it's very forceful. It's not natural, and he needs to get that out of his game. He needs to improve that quite a lot because he's not going to be at a big team if he continues this way. He just won't. Yeah, he'll be good, like Crystal Palace, these kind of teams. He'll be very good at, but he will never be at like a top team if he does it. Continues this way. And let's be honest, the last 5 games in a row since he scored that, it was very good. He hasn't scored. Yeah, I don't think he's assisted nothing. And you just went through those stats. He was none. It was none on top of those. None of the uh, he was hardly there in any of their stats. And when you're a starting player and you're playing in that pivotal position with Palmer on the right wing, and you're not in those stats, well, then yeah, stats are something. Eye test is different, but when you put the two together, they tell you a little bit of a picture. So he just hasn't been productive enough.
No, he hasn't, in my opinion.
It looks good.
Even yeah.
It looks good when he takes his man on, and that's what a lot of people see, that he takes his man on and he beats his man, and it looks good on the eye because of it. But there's no production after that.
Yeah, yeah, and how, if he was again, I don't see him. You can say assisting Copama 3 times in a single game like Copama did for him. Honestly, after
No,
the
you
first
won't see
one,
that.
he'd
No, you
probably
won't
try
see
to
that.
score the rest. Um,
Look, it's
I
also the
think
position coach because he's central Palmer. He can do that more. It's a bit harder to, as a winger, to get. But you do see the big difference when Neto plays and when he comes on. You see the difference. Even Mudryk, to be honest, in the last few games when he came on, you saw the difference straight away. Assist and the way they play, and the Neto looks to assist. That's his number one thing. He first looks to assist and then to score. That's how he plays. That's his style of play. He's
And
aggressive,
I
but he's
think that's
always
the
looks for
best
his
way to
teammate.
simplify it, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
everybody can, it's relatable to everybody, or maybe using a much simpler language, Neto looks to assist more than he looks to score.
correct.
And
Yeah,
yeah, we need to, again, he doesn't unnecessarily try to shoot when he shouldn't,
yeah,
you
and
know.
waste opportunities. And
Yeah,
at the
exactly.
top level, those 2 to 3 extra opportunities are gold.
And even in most cases, you could argue we've seen Lonnie Madueke in situations where he just put into the ball, put the ball into the box as quickly as possible, but he tries to cut back in and trying to find space to shoot unnecessarily. You
Look,
know,
he wants to. He's a bit of a show kind of guy as well. He likes that
mhm,
aspect of the game. He likes that aspect of the dribbling, looking good. He's got that in him. That's just the style of player it is. But that's up to coaching and the coaching staff and the assistants and that to work on that and get it out of him. So that's definitely on the coaching. That has to be ironed out of him. If not, like I say, he won't be at a big team. He just won't because of that reason. So it's up to him. But for me, it's just I think I've seen the arguments. It's 50-50 on X, but I think we need to make that change. I think we need to put Neto in that starting role over him. In my personal opinion, he needs to start over him just because he does a lot more with the ball, and also he's a very good dribbler, and he works very hard defensively as well. People say that no one works as hard as Madueke defensively. Well, that's not true. Neto works very very hard defensively. He's always running back.
although
He's always
he's improved defensively.
it's just he's always played that way as well at Wolves. He had to be the defensive player as well
No, no,
at
I'm
Wolves.
I'm talking about Lonnie Madueke. He's improved in
He's
terms
improved.
of
Yeah, he's improved. The
yeah.
coaching have got that into him. He's improved. But I still see a lot of lapses there. There's still, it's not, he doesn't want to really do that. So he's good, but he can be much better. And I think we just have someone on the bench that's way better at that and way better at, will help the team a lot more. If I wouldn't be saying this, if Noni would have produced. I haven't seen it in the last 5 games. He hasn't scored or assisted. And for me, that's production. I know it's stats, blah, blah, but it is still important. You still need, as a winger, you still need to do one of those two. You're one of the front three players.
Yeah. Rich Moneymaker, I saying we need to keep Nani in the team because he will score goals. And remember, he's only 22. I agree, but we have other options. Why not give them give other options opportunity? Pedro Neto. The argument that this is not a case of him of the case of case of the him coming from a different league. He's been in the Premier League. So I think eventually, if Nani Madueke doesn't improve in terms of being um, a little less selfish, yep, and a little more selfless, I think if Pedro Neto gets a chance and starts and does well, it will be a matter of when is Pedro Neto tired before he gets to play again. So it's his business. I'm not going to say anything more. Dante, anything else you want us to talk about? I think it's been an excellent discussion, and
No,
yep,
we've covered
we're
everything.
going to try to stream consistently from now on. And once we're done, I'm done with the move. I think the timing will favor me a lot more. Yep, for
Is it
reasons.
different time zone there as well?
Yeah, different time zone. It will be 3 up. So yeah, so at this time, we'll be morning already, and the boys will be going to school with school bus, no longer me driving them. But
Perfect.
let's hear you anything else you want to talk about, bro, before we call it a day.
No, coach, that's we've covered pretty much everything. I just wanted to with the Noni thing because I just saw it everywhere on X. Everyone's arguing
Yeah,
about
I
it.
think he makes. I like it that you brought it up. But for
Yeah,
me, he's selfish, and until proven otherwise, and I don't even want to get into argument with anybody that thinks uh, that argues that he's not selfish. It just doesn't make sense. But go ahead.
yeah, exactly. Look, he's selfish. Look, Palmer is selfish as well, to be honest, but he produces
But yeah, but more
and
selfless.
assists as well a lot.
More, yeah,
So
more selfless than selfish.
Yeah, correct. Yep. So, I mean, you can be
Do
very,
you
you know,
remember
you
that
can.
particular game that I was shouting that he was a bit too selfish in that particular game,
Yeah,
specific to that particular game, and I got in trouble with your cousin, right? It was
you did. Yes, yes.
but go ahead and
Look,
what you were
Palmer
saying.
has a lot of selfish moments. He takes a lot of shots when he shouldn't. But that's just who he is, and he's got that freedom because why? Because he does it very consistently. So I would not care about Nani if he scored 3 goals a game, or I don't care how selfish he is. If he does that and it works, it's good. But there's a time you need to make a change, and that's up to the coaching. Obviously, they'll look at it, and I'm sure Maresca, I trust him that he will make that change. And it's up for the other players to pressure the coach to make that change, how they perform in the other competitions. And so far, to me, Neto, every game he's come on and played, he's performed very well and done everything very well. So we'll see what happens.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. It's been an excellent discussion. I appreciate you all. My bro, my bast, my Iraqi bro, I appreciate you. Nice to see you once again. Grown Ups, a very funny movie. I like it too, but not my favorite. My favorite movie is The Devil's Advocate. And we have a Rich Amoni Mekos. Nemanja Fowler, much love to you. I
That's a
appreciate you
very
finding the
hedge
time to
place
join us.
movie, coach.
Sorry?
That's a very hedge place movie.
Hey. Why did I even mention it? I'm hopefully the Bluetooth again did not hear that.
Let's hope
Oh
not.
my goodness, because it makes perfect sense to say no wonder why you like it.
Yep.
Very, very. I made a mistake saying that, but
I'm
I'm
sure
quite
my
sure
boss will remember, and he'll put it up every 10
look
times
at
every
him.
stream
He's
from now
running
on.
with it already. He's running with it already. Thank you to Namaya for Wale. Much love to you, Nehe. I appreciate you. Tayo A was here, and Vince, my bro, I think he's gone back to work because we asked him to go back to work. He's gone back to work. Here's Vic. He was here. And my bro, Constantin. Then. And much love to all of you in the chat. I appreciate you all. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Take care, guys.